Yo. What is up, y'all? My name is Robert Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And, that kind of fucking sucked. We had our worst betting day on Tuesday of the entire college basketball season from November 4th all the way up till February 4th. We never have gotten shelled quite like we did on Tuesday, which is really unfortunate when you kind of also factor in that, you know, we went pretty heavy on this slate. I felt pretty good about it. Honestly, a lot of the bets that did lose, I felt like still were the right side. But again, this is sports betting. These lines are getting sharper as the year goes on, and I'll let the legendary Rick Pitino kind of outline my thoughts and how I was feeling after we started 0-6 against the spread.
Inside, I want to kill myself. Outside, I just say, that's okay, we're going to make the next one.
All that being said, though, it's a brand new day here on Wednesday. We've got a pretty decent slate as well of games, and I'm excited to hop into them. But first, we do need to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And Underdog Fantasy is a fantastic betting platform because they offer a lot of different things for Major League Baseball, college basketball, NFL, college football. Really, any sport that you can think of, there's a market available on their platform. And if you follow me over on Twitter/X at RobDFB, we put out a lot of pick'em entries that are related to Underdog just because they're a ton of fun. And individually, when we're betting on those players, it seems to be doing pretty well. So let's go ahead and keep it going. But I say we go ahead and jump into these picks here. All right, first up, we are heading out to the Patriot League where we have American taking on Bucknell, and honestly, this league in general feels really wide open, and I think that Bucknell is playing some of the best basketball in this league, and I think they're going to be right there come tournament time to get that bid into March. And I really do feel like in this game against American, a team that is rolling really hot right now, this is their chance to make a statement. They've dropped a few of these games. I say they get this one, so let's go ahead and take the Bucknell Bison for 4 units for our first bet here on Wednesday. For pick number 2, we're heading down to the Big South where we have High Point taking on Radford, and this is honestly one of the best games of the night because High Point over the last 2 years has kind of run this conference, and they're once again having a really great season this year. And in terms of Radford, they've kind of been up and down over the years, but under Coach Nichols, they're really starting to find something, I think, and they really have a shot to unseat High Point in this conference. Do I think they do it? I don't, but when you're talking about this game, a regular season game in their home venue, this is definitely going to be jumping, and they're getting 4.5 points. I say we go ahead and take those points for 2 units for our second bet here on Wednesday. For pick number 3, we're heading out to the MVC where we have Northern Iowa taking on Missouri State, and Northern Iowa is coming off of that huge win in their building against Bradley on Sunday where they didn't leave a single doubt. They won that game by 20 plus. It was a wire-to-wire finish for them, and we did bet on the Panthers in that matchup, but now they are traveling down to Missouri State, and Missouri State has kind of been a bottom feeder in this conference over the last 2 years after having a really golden stretch over the last kind of decade plus. And when you're looking at this matchup in particular, I do think that there's going to be some pride down the stretch here for Missouri State, and it's a short number. I think it's a short number for a reason. So let's go ahead and take those 4.5 points here for 3 units for our third bet here on Wednesday. For pick number 4, we're staying in the Missouri Valley Conference where we have a matchup between Belmont and Bradley, and this venue for Bradley has been an absolute asset to them over the past decade plus, and in particular this season when Bradley has been playing good basketball, this place has been jumping, and they're coming in this game off after that tough loss to Northern Iowa, and I get it, Belmont has a shiny looking record, but as we the reason why we bet on Evansville last time out against them, where Evansville won as an 11.5 point underdog outright, I do think that Belmont has a little bit of a paper tiger resume, and Bradley, not the case. I think they're a very good team. I think they lay the wood here, and the line of 7.5 It's a little steep, but I say we go ahead and lay it for 2 units for our 4th bet here on Wednesday. For pick number 5, we are heading out to Washington State, where we have Nebraska taking on the Huskies. And in this matchup, Nebraska is making their first road trip out to the West Coast in conference play. And when you're looking at this matchup in particular, yes, Washington has had a rough season, and that was kind of to be expected in the Big Ten because they're kind of undergunned. But I don't think that Nebraska is one of the better teams in this league, and they are coming off that massive win at home against Illinois. I do feel like there's a chance that they fall really flat here for that reason, and also for just the time zone angle there too. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take the 2.5 points with Washington for 4 units for our 5th bet here on Wednesday. All right, for our final play of the night, we are heading out to New Mexico, where we have Colorado State taking on the Lobos. And the Pit is an awesome venue, and New Mexico has already beaten Colorado State in this matchup, but Colorado State is playing some of their best basketball, which I kind of called. I think Nico Medved is a fantastic coach. This was a young, inexperienced team that was kind of living in the post-Isaiah Stevens era at the beginning part of this year, and now I feel like they've fully developed. They're playing like themselves again, and when you're looking at this game, I do think that this line is so large because of how New Mexico has already won this matchup. They also are coming off that massive win in Logan, Utah against the Utah State Aggies on Saturday, and I think a lot of those contributing factors are giving us a really good line here. So let's go ahead and take the Colorado State Rams for 2 units for our last bet here on Wednesday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and let's go ahead, let's get that bounce back. Let's forget that Tuesday ever happened. I personally want to forget that ever happened, and, long season left, even with it dwindling down and nearing March. We've got a lot of games left and a lot of fun to be had. So let's go ahead and have a great day, but as I always say, y'all, I appreciate ya, and I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.